The Denver Nuggets have made multiple moves to their team right before the season has begun, and fans are fired up over these moves as there were a lot of people discussing how this was the wrong call by the team, and now they are going to suffer due to some depth issues in the wrong areas, while also actually getting rid of the wrong players and keeping on the wrong players as well. And we're going to go over all that right now, why Denver Nuggets fans are upset, why they're right to be upset about these botched moves, and really what the big issue is here going forwards and how the Nuggets can sort of rectify this when it does ultimately lead to some depth issues down the line. Guys, we're going to jump right into it, but real quick, if you are part of that 72% that's not subscribed to Nuggets Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on a single Nuggets update all season long. We are on that grind right now, so you want to make sure to be subscribed, but let's jump right into the video. There is a lot to go over on the Denver Nuggets right now, as Ben Tenzer and Jon Wallace have made no time wasted figuring out this team's final roster, and they made some important decisions today that does have fans upset, as many do believe that the team went out and made the wrong calls with some of their players right here, while they're absolutely right if we're being honest. The Nuggets, they made a mistake here. They made a serious error, and now with this, fans are livid. I mean, just diving right into it, it was announced by Sports Illustrated and by others as well that the Denver Nuggets have cut a pair of their players from the roster before the start of the 2025-26 NBA season, according to a team announcement. The Nuggets have waived center Moses Brown and forward Kessler Edwards in a move that is going to make Nuggets fans very upset. Now, Kessler Edwards played 40 games with the Dallas Mavericks last year, and the Mavericks wanted to keep him on for more, but ultimately could no longer afford the services of Kessler Edwards, leading to this situation at hand here. Now, Edwards, in that span, he put up 4.2 points and 3 rebounds with 1 assist, while playing phenomenal defense and shooting 40% from 3. Edwards was very good with the Nuggets, and because of that, Nuggets fans all wanted to see him make the team in some capacity. However, we didn't end up seeing that happening. We didn't see the Nuggets make any subsequent moves in order to land Edwards onto their roster, and it has fans upset, and I'm one of them. I'm very upset with the way that this went down, because the Nuggets had a clear opportunity here to add a very talented player in Kessler Edwards, who belongs on an NBA roster and belongs on an NBA roster more than a handful of other players on the Nuggets. I mean, fans took no time to voice their issues with this thing. Kessler Edwards is unironically better than Zeke Naji and Hunter Tyson and fills a more direct need than the latter, which is absolutely true. Kessler Edwards is a better NBA player than Hunter Tyson. In my opinion, can he snag that last roster spot by any chance is what fans were asking. Obviously, that didn't happen. That was all the way back in August when this person mentioned that, when Corn Nugs Drew said that. Robert, Nuggets, and Packers said Kessler Edwards hello. Cough, 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 better than Tyson as well, who we saw. A lot of these fans were saying just 2 weeks ago how Kessler Edwards was the better player. Why isn't Kessler Edwards playing or getting any minutes ahead of Tyson? Kessler Edwards waived and Trey Alexander, while meanwhile, the Nuggets still have Zeke Naji and Hunter Tyson. Now, obviously, a lot of hate towards Hunter Tyson in this right here. But the truth is, Kessler Edwards is the better player than him. That's the real issue at hand here, is the Nuggets got rid of the wrong guys. Now, I know Hunter Tyson is under contract, and so is Zeke Naji, making things a little bit difficult. But after drafting Deron Holmes, wouldn't it have made sense for the Nuggets to just accept the fact that the Zeke Naji situation was just a miscue by the former front office? Go out there, move Zeke Naji to a team like the Utah Jazz or the Brooklyn Nets, teams that would be able to afford him, while the Nuggets get back just probably they give a second round pick or two away for a protected second round pick to sell off that Zeke Naji contract, move a little bit further away from the apron, while also being able to add on Kessler Edwards on a cheaper contract. That just would have made so much sense to me. Or just trying to figure out some way to move Zeke Naji for more talent, especially with Deron Holmes, Jonas Valanciunas. It didn't really make sense to keep Naji on this team, but now here he still is, and it just feels like an error. The first real big error by the Tenzer Wallace duo right here. I mean, on top of that, when we just look at Hunter Tyson's numbers over the 69 games he's appeared in, he put up 2.2 points, 1.3 rebounds, shot 38% from field, and 30.7% from 3. The numbers were not really inspiring at all, and no offense towards Hunter Tyson, but I would way rather Kessler Edwards on the team. Kessler Edwards can play a few different more positions than Tyson, since he's a better athlete, he's a better defender, and he shot more efficiently. Every sign points to Kessler Edwards being a guy that a contending team should want to go after, but the Nuggets weren't able to make any moves to free up these roster spots, and that definitely does upset me. I mean, we also look just at the 2 games Moses Brown appeared in. with Denver as well. And yeah, his numbers didn't jump out, but he only got 4 minutes. And in one of those 4 minute spans, he got 8 points, shooting 4 for 5 from the field, and also pulled down 3 rebounds. So in literally 4.5 minutes per game, or 4 minutes per game, I should say, he put up 4.5 points and 3 rebounds. The man played very little minutes and showed his impact, yet somehow these guys like Najee and Tyson are getting these roster spots. Look, it's not lost on me. I understand. You have to make trades to get this money off. I'm not saying this like, well, why would they do that? That makes no sense. No, it does. They literally could not afford to waive Tyson and then also just waive Zeke Najee, have his contract on the books for the next couple of years, and then just pay Moses Brown and Kessler Edwards. It doesn't work like that, because then they'd be owing a ton of money outwards while paying that and also trying to evade the apron. It's just an impossible task. It's not lost to me, but trading them away in cap dumps was not impossible, and they could have done it and they didn't, which just upsets me, because this is a perfect situation for the Nuggets to go out there and add more talent to their team, and that's just not what we saw go down, which honestly just sucks, man. I mean, look, we've seen Moses Brown become an NBA G League legend. Last year with the Westchester Knicks, the man put up 18 points per game and 16 rebounds. You're telling me that guy can't go and play in the NBA? I mean, Brown appeared for the Jazz. That's incorrect. He appeared for the Mavs as well as Kessler Edwards last year. And Moses Brown, in that time, was excellent. He put up, I'm not kidding you, 12 points and 8 rebounds per game over 4 games with the Dallas Mavericks. One of those games, he had a 20-point triple-double. Or double-double, excuse me, double-double. 20-point double-double. Why would we get rid of him like that, like he's yesterday's news? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up at all. Because again, the Nuggets should be solely focused on trying to win the 2026 NBA Finals. It feels like the Nuggets and the Thunder are by far the 2 favorites for this. Yeah, other teams can win. The Rockets have a legit chance. The Timberwolves have a real opportunity. But then if you get there against the East, it's either the Knicks or the Cavs, most likely, barring injuries. So this is such a winnable year for Moses Brown, for the Nuggets, and for Moses Brown to just be on this team along with Kessler Edwards. Yeah, you have to do cap dumps, and you're probably sacrificing some second-round picks to do that. So that second-round pick's not going to matter in 2031 when the Nuggets and Jokić have another ring on their hands. We're not going to think back like, oh, if only we had the 2031 second-round pick. It just feels like a wasted opportunity to a team like the Nets, who likely would have been able and definitely would have been able and likely would have been willing to take on this money from the Denver Nuggets in order to get some draft capital onto their team. We see this team is blowing things up, is trying to rebuild and get as much capital as possible while still having a bunch of money saved up for the future. This doesn't make sense to me at all. The Nuggets, they know how to make deals with the Nets because they already did it once this offseason. This is a real missed opportunity by the Nuggets that is definitely going to eat away at me for a little bit. I mean, we look at their depth chart. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. But Deron Holmes could have had a better situation here if he was in that spot that Zeke Najee is, especially with Peyton Watson not extending that contract. I imagine we will see Deron Holmes get in there as well, just in case the Nuggets end up losing Peyton Watson. I don't think Watson's going to end up leaving, but I do think it's something that we have to understand as a possibility here. On top of that, you could have added Edwards and just gotten a guy who could have played the 2, played the 3, played the 4. You could have added Moses Brown onto the team, got more rebounding depth, and a good offensive player who can catch the lobs and roll off screens well. To me, this feels like a missed opportunity. What does it feel like to you guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.